In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a simple addition subtraction drawing. So I'm going to draw that same cube on my grid paper, but I'm going to make it an 8x8 this time. So I went up 8, so I'm going to go up 1 over 2 to the right, up 1 over 2 to the right, up 1 over 2 to the right, up 1 over 2 to the right 4 times. I'm going to do the same process to the left, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2 to the left 4 times as well. Now, the idea is I want to keep that same slope. So I'm going to go up 2, 2, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm going to connect my lines here using that same slope of up 1 over 2. I'm going to carry that slope 4 times. Same thing going to the other way. I'm going to carry my slope 4 times. Now, I'm going to make my top on this one up 1 over 2 to the left, up 1 over 2 to the right, up 1 over 2 to the right, up 1 over 2 to the right. Again, for 4 times, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. I should end up again in that same point. Now I'm going to do a simple subtraction here. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to count up 2 squares from my middle here, 2 squares over on the line, place a point, 2 squares over on that line, place a point, 2 squares down, place a point, 2 squares down from here, 2 squares down from here. So that sets me up to have my subtraction portion of this. Now, if I was drawing this not on camera, I would do construction lines, so it would be a lot easier to erase. But for the camera purposes, I drew them heavier. So all I'm going to do is using that same slope, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 2, up 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2 to the left. I'm going to create that subtraction here. Now from the corners here, I'm going to go up 1 over 2 to the right, up 1 over 2 to the left, and then vertical. So what you should see is now I have that cutout. I could choose a light source on this and do some shading to help you see it a little bit nice and neat. Again, to bring this portion of this out and drop my shadow down. But we'll go over shading in a different video, but we can see that we have that cutout. Now we're going to do a simple addition up here. So I'm going to go down 2 from here, and from that point, I'm going to go up 1 over 2 to the right, up 1 over 2 to the left, and I'm going to erase this. So that 2 by 2 cutout that I made there, now I'm going to place on top. So I'm going to go up 2, and up 2 on all my points, up 1 over 2 to the right, up 1 over 2 to the left, up 1 over 2 to the right, up 1 over 2 to the left. So what I end up with is that subtraction and addition drawing. Now I could do my subtractions and additions anywhere on this. For an example, I could choose to cut out my corner here. I could go up 2, up 1 over 2 to the right. And you can see that example of a subtraction there. I'm missing that as well. Again, I could do the same thing on the side here. I could go up 2, up 1 over 2 to the left, up 2, up 1 over 2 to the left. Now, if I'm looking at it from this perspective, I'm going to see this back wall here, so I can see that cutout that I have here as well, that cutout into there. And again, I could do my additions as well anywhere that I'd want. So I could choose to do an addition coming off here, here, or another place on top. So I'm going to continue to show on an addition. You can see I took out that subtraction that I had there. So I'm just going to start at this point, and I'm going to go up 1 over 2 to the right, down 2, up 1 over 2 to the right, up 2. So I can frame that out. Off of this, I can build my addition. So from this point, I'm going to go down 1 over 2. From here, I'm going to go down 1 over 2. Same idea from here, down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. I use that initial square to kind of set this up or frame this out. So I'm just going to connect my points as I would normally do. Now we have some extra lines in there. Those extra lines are what's clouding my drawing. Those would be the hidden lines on there. So I can come through, darken up my object lines, those dark heavy lines, and we can see now how I moved that addition from just being somewhere on top, and I can have that same addition coming out at random areas or wherever I need it to.